The topic of this video is Google search secret tips and tricks. And let's first start with one of the secret tricks that's built into Google. And that is you can just go to google.com, click in the search bar, and search for spinner. Now this is particularly useful for teachers, and especially math teachers maybe. What it does is it gives you a number spinner, and it automatically starts spinning. And I'm going to hold Control on the keyboard and tap the plus sign, or on a Mac it's Command plus, and it makes it bigger on the screen, so you can see that a little bit better. But all I have to do is click spin, and it will spin and give me a random number. So this is great for the classroom, but it's also great when you're playing a game with family or friends and just need a spinner. Notice that you can change it to different sizes. This is a bigger spinner than before. And if you just love spinners and would prefer a fidget spinner, you can click here and give yourself a fidget spinner. Not as useful maybe, but very relaxing. Now, underneath the spinner, notice that there's an arrow. If you click on that arrow, it gives you a variety of other tools. So we have a calculator, pretty typical, what you would expect. There's also a tool called Roll a Die that you can click on, and it rolls a die for you, and you can add additional dice. So pretty quickly, I can have several dice on the screen, and it gives me a total amount. I can click roll to roll all sorts of different dice at once. Notice that you can also add a modifier. It automatically adds a certain number to the dice roll. Now, just like with the spinner, this is pretty useful for teachers. In many cases, a lot of teachers create their own games and need dice to go with those games, but it's also great in a math class talking about probability and things like that. And at the same time, it's helpful if you're playing a game with family or friends. Other tools that we have here, there's a metronome, which can be very useful for musicians. There's a meditate tool that will help you remember to meditate. There's flip a coin, again, great for probability, and you just click flip again, and you get another flip of the coin. We also have, probably for me, the most useful of these tools, which is the color picker. So sometimes I'm using a software program that asks me to enter the color RGB number that I want to use. Now, how do I know what the RGB number is? Now, a few of them I have memorized, but if I'm not absolutely certain what the RGB number is for a particular color, I can use this Google tool, Color Picker. And I can select the range of colors that I want, maybe that color right there, and it tells me the exact RGB. It's also got the CMYK and all of these other ways of identifying the exact color. Hex is another common color indicator, and it gives you the exact hex number. So we've got this range as well to help you change to different colors. So of all these Google tools, this one is probably the most useful for me personally, but some of those others are also useful and fun. So going back, these are just tools, but there's also games. So if you click on games, you can play a game of tic-tac-toe against the computer. I'll be X, and the computer just plays against you, and you try to beat the computer. Okay, it looks like a draw. And there are other games. We've got Solitaire, and many of these games are really pretty well done. Like this is one of the better Solitaire games I've played. Now, when I first opened it up, it came in small, so I did, again, either Control plus on a Windows computer or Command plus to make it bigger, and now I can play this Solitaire game. So, kind of fun. I'm going to go back. We also have an awesome game, Minesweeper, that's a lot of fun. You try to avoid the bombs, which I failed at. And we've got Pac-Man, Snake is a lot of fun as well. But all of these games are always at your fingertips whenever you are on google.com. They may not help you be very productive, but they're good brain breaks now and then. And like I said before, these tools do come in handy for me anyway, from time to time. So if you recall, the way I got here was by searching spinner. Now, you can also search Pac-Man, you can search Snake. Just search the name of one of those games, and in most cases, it's going to take you directly to a screen where you can click play, and the game begins, or the tool becomes usable. So I hope you'll check out these games and tools. Next, let's look at a few Google search tips. In addition to searching for information about a topic that you're trying to learn about and things like that, you can also use this search bar for other things, and many people don't know that these options are available. For example, you can do some quick math. 78 times 34. I just hit enter, and it gives me the results. And so as long as you can type the equation or the math problem into the Google search form, Google will most likely be able to do the math for you and give you the results. I use this occasionally, but what I use more is conversions. So for example, 7 feet, 5 inches in meters. Now I could have abbreviated inches and meters and things like that, but you get the point. It did the conversion for me. There it is. It's about 2.2 meters. All right, what about 78 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius? Again, it does the conversion for me. So these conversions, I find them to be pretty useful. Let's look at another Google search tip, and that is that you can type in the word define, followed by a colon, and then the word that you would like defined. For example, equivocate. So it gives me the word, and it gives me a definition of what it means. I've even got some synonyms or things that are almost synonyms that come up below it, and I can expand that out even more. Another Google search trick or tip is that you can do a search for weather and then put in either a zip code or a city and state or a city and a country, and it will show me the current weather in that location and an 8-day forecast. Notice that you can switch between temperature, precipitation, wind. This is a pretty good weather forecast, and you access it right from the Google search bar. Notice that you can click ahead to a future day and see the forecast in more detail. You can also search for times. So I could type in the word time, Japan. Look what it does. It gives me the current time. Another good trick to know is that if you've ordered something from, let's say, Amazon or eBay, or really any other retailer, and they've purchased tracking with, let's say, UPS or FedEx or the US Postal Service, you should be able to copy-paste in the tracking number and just hit enter or return on the keyboard. And look, it takes you to a screen that helps you track your package. You can just click the button and, oh, this says it was delivered. I better look into that. But anyway, it gives you updates about the package you're expecting. Similarly, this also works with flight numbers. So if I put in, let's say, a flight number from American Airlines or Delta Airlines or Southwest or something, just put in the flight number and it will tell you the progress of that flight. Next, let's look at movies. So if I do a search for movies, it will give me a list of movies playing nearby to me. But what if I'm traveling? Let's say I'll be in Seattle, Washington, and I want to know what movies are playing near Seattle. And I can click on one of these movies to find out more about it and to find a showtime and a specific theater where I can watch this movie. So I think all of those Google search tips and tricks are useful in some way and kind of fun. I hope that you'll think about the Google search bar as being more than just a way to search for the things that you care about, the things that you're interested in. Yes, I can search it for web pages about this topic. I can search for videos about this topic, images, news, books, and more. And so, yes, most people use Google to search for those kinds of things. But I hope you'll also remember to search for some handy tools, get your definitions, and all of those other things that I showed. So that's the end of part 1 of Google Search Secret Tips and Tricks. I hope you'll come back next week and watch part 2. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I hope you found it to be helpful. If you did, please click the like button below and consider connecting with me on my social media accounts like Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter. And definitely do subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos about technology for teachers and students. And when you do subscribe, please consider clicking the bell next to the subscribe button. If you do that, you'll be notified whenever I post another video. And watch for another video from me at least every Monday. If you'd like to support my channel, consider becoming a supporter of mine through my Patreon account, and you'll see a link to that in the description below.